Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a review on a Williams & Co cricket bat. This has been sent to me by MyCricketGear, who's a UK based reviewer. So we'll have a look after this. So many thanks to Kevin at MyCricketGear. He started last year an Instagram channel where he wants to review bats, players, and also interview cricket manufacturers in the UK. So he's over on Instagram. Kevin got in touch with me and said, hey look, I'm purchasing some Aussie Willow bats just to see what they're like from Williams & Co. Would you be interested in having a look? I said, yeah, sure. So what I've said to Kevin is that I'll actually put this review out after he's actually published his review. So if you follow him on Instagram and want to see my version of that review, then I'm welcoming you to the channel, and hopefully you can find some of the content that I do interesting. And I'll leave all the links to Williams & Co and MyCricketGear in the description. So he's actually sent this bat over to me, and it's come in this cover, and this would be, I assume, one of their LE clefs. I didn't purchase it. So this is a very interesting opportunity because we haven't had any Aussie Willow on the channel. It's obviously willow that's been brought in from England over 100 years ago, and it's been grown in Victoria mostly because there's a lot of rainfall there. And yeah, it looks different to English willow. You can see here a darker tinge. He purchases some of his willow through established stock, but he also visits different trees that are growing throughout Victoria and actually fells his own trees and processes them through, from collapsing the tree to separating them into billets, putting them into clefts. And he's actually become a full-time bat maker as of last year, from what I can read on his page. He said that it's got a very soft press. I haven't actually tapped it up. So it's a very traditional sort of profile. You can see here that low mass for the English conditions. A little bit of duckbill going on here, but a very full sort of shape for somebody who's going to be driving predominantly in that mid to mid-low position. There's plenty of wood there, not really about big edges, and you can see there a very traditional camber. So he presses his own willow as well. The stickers themselves are not embossed, and he's not actually part of the Willow Blue group of bat makers, just making willow that's grown in Australia. There is more willow than just what's at the Willow Blue plantations. It's probably easier if you touch base with Lucas to get that history. And while you're there, maybe consider buying one of his bats. So this is the second one. And this one's a slightly different profile. This is a more modern shape. As you can see there, we've got much more of a higher concave sort of spine. Once again, the edge is in that mid position, and that spine is peaking a little bit lower but then dipping down. And same camber, no bow on this one at all, and I don't believe there's any bow on this bat either. Basically, when you're looking at English willow, you're looking at really white willow, whereas this willow here, you've got a different sort of colour to them. I think that's emphasised a little bit by the linseed oil as it's come in here, and maybe the other thing you've got going on here is that the willow itself is not kiln dried. Pricing and all that, you'll have to go and have a look at his page and talk to Williams & Co directly. I guess that's one of those things that fluctuate. He also does English willow as well. So I guess I'm going to pick one, and I'm also going to knock one for Kevin as a thank you, and we'll have a look at that post knock as well. Yeah, we'll do the measurements on this one. Let's start with the toe, remembering we've got a very round camber on that face. Still got 15 mil there at the edge, and 28. So yeah, I think there's about an 8 mil camber on that face. There's a bit of rounding over the top there. That's why you get that really peaked middle position. One of the things about really round faces is you get a very even press right across the face. So they're less likely to have damage towards the edges, but they're also likely to deflect rather than make the bat twist and crack at the edges or up through the shoulder blades. Firstly, I'll do the edge here, and you can see there that that's nearly 30 mil. 29. Up here at the shoulder, we're looking at just under 14. And in the center of the handle here, it's about 42. So really lots of wood left up here in the splice and into the handle there. The handle itself is a semi-oval towards oval and round at the top, and 107.8. Let's also measure the spine. So 62 mil. So very traditional and very full, lots of wood in that hitting area there. The scuff sheet that he's using is a thinner style. I'm not sure about this one. Let's also talk about the weight. So in my hands, this bat feels probably 2.9. Nice pickup, even, not heavy. On the scales, 210.5. So yeah, that all that wood left up top there is having an effect. So we'll start with this bat here. And we'll start at the toe. Definitely feels different to English Willow. I can feel the middle position there. All right, now we'll do this one here. Yeah, it feels totally different. Yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah, it's different. Now, some other features that I did notice. Under the handle, he's got his own binding style, with this gold twine, and he's sourcing his handles directly from the UK. So they're nice quality handles there, as you can see. This particular bat has much more of an oval feel than the other one. I actually like this one as far as in the hands. See what this feels like. Yeah, this one feels probably the same weight again, and we'll just see what it actually weighs. So I'm thinking it feels 2.9, and it's just under 210. I've now knocked in that bat. I've taken the original scuff sheet off and applied the English scuff sheet after knocking it in. I've put some shoe glue on the bottom and just applied a bit of edge tape. Now, I did find that the original scuff sheet, it was damaged and there was a bit of a mark in there. So the Willow was so soft that there was actually a dent in the face of the bat, but during the whole knock-in, we've actually knocked any damage out of the face, and it did compress quite dramatically. I probably spent 3 hours on this in total. I gave it one extra oil, and then we started with boning the face and the edges. And then I started gently knocking the face with the flat side of the mallet, and could see it very easily denting. So it was really, really softly pressed. Did the whole face and then found that it was like the crater of the moon. So I had to roll it again, and then did it again and rolled it a third time. And then I started to see it all packed down nicely, and we've got a nice flat surface out of it. You can see some evidence that it has been knocked. Yeah, general thoughts on the bat, really soft, as I've explained to you there. I wouldn't like to see somebody who doesn't know what they're doing just take to it and start smashing the crappers out of it. They will cause compression cracks and all the rest of it. So we'll tap that up and we'll see what that's like now. Starting at the toe. So from here, it's pinging well. All the way to here, this would be where it's got the least vibration. So that's probably where it'll come off the sweetest. And then I've knocked that fairly hard, but give it a good whack for you now. Yeah, happy with that. So yeah, nothing wrong with the bats. Don't know what they paid. I do have Lucas's details there. I'll hold that up and I'll leave a link in the description. You're welcome to get in touch with him if you're really interested in getting him to make you a bespoke bat. There were some things that I picked up on. One was the scuff sheet, which was not really great quality. And also he's trimming the grips, which ride up during the knocking in process. This bat is left natural for Kevin to do his review on. So he'll have a comparison between that sound, which I couldn't make heads or tails of, and the normal sound that I'm used to. So yeah, why did it ping like that? It's just because it's so soft. You know, the willow will not rebound if it's not hard. So that's what's going on there. So thank you very much to Kevin from MyCricketGear for supplying one bat, and then it turned into two. Williams Cricket.